Welcome back, my friends. The news today is that the moment that you have all been waiting for has finally come. Tesla full self-driving beta V12 has finally been rolled out. So should we all prepare to get your minds blown? Tesla is finally starting to roll out full self-driving FSD beta V12 to customers. Another mind-blowing update, according to CEO Elon Musk. However, as usual, everyone should be really careful when using FSD beta. Unfortunately, Tesla Autopilot and similar automated driving systems have gotten poor ratings from a prominent safety group. So is full self-driving real? Or is it just going to perpetually be the next big thing? Well, as you may have heard, the latest version of Tesla's full self-driving was just released, and reviews are starting to come in. But before we get into all of that, I would like to thank everyone who views my videos. If you would like to support the channel, please see the link to Buy Me a Coffee in the video description below. And please hit the like button and leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. FSD Beta V12 has been one of the most anticipated updates to Tesla's controversial ADAS Level 2 system, which it hopes will eventually become Level 4 or even 5. The Tesla V12 software update is introducing what Musk has been calling end-to-end neural nets. The biggest difference with previous FSD updates is that the vehicle's controls are now being handled by neural nets rather than being coded by programmers. It is being touted as the difference maker that should bring a lot of improvements. Musk again claimed, like he has with many FSD beta updates before, it is mind-blowing. Tesla was supposed to release V12 last year, but it was delayed. The automaker started to push the update in January, but only to a few customers. The wide release was delayed multiple times, with several new versions of the update being released only to Tesla employees and a few customers. That's until now. Many Tesla FSD owners are reporting today receiving a new software update, which includes FSD beta version 12.3. We reported that Tesla had pushed the new version 12.3 update to employees earlier this week. It looks like it didn't take a lot of time for Tesla to believe it was worth pushing to the wider fleet of Tesla FSD owners. The new update is still listed as beta by Tesla, despite Musk saying last year that V12 won't be beta. As usual, remember that full self-driving, FSD beta, despite its name, is not really self-driving. It's a Level 2 driver assist system that requires the driver to keep their hands on the steering wheel and be ready to take control at all times. As I have been saying for a while, even though I can understand how end-to-end neural net can be a big step bringing a lot of improvements, it's hard to get too excited. We still entirely rely on our own or others' own anecdotal experience to gauge improvements in the system rather than actual data, which Tesla has always gone out of its way to avoid releasing. Unlike other companies running self-driving test programs, I've seen FSD Beta V12 do some impressive things that make me hopeful, but I still have a hard time seeing a path to Tesla delivering on its promise to deliver a Level 4 or 5 self-driving system. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, which rates cars and SUVs for safety, examined so-called advanced driver assistance systems such as Tesla Autopilot and found them wanting. These systems combine different sensors and technologies to help a driver keep their vehicle in its lane and avoid hitting other vehicles in front and to the sides. Usually, these systems work only on highways. Some can even allow drivers to remove their hands from the steering wheel, but all require drivers to pay attention to the road and vehicles around them at all times. Of the 14 systems tested by the agency, 11 earned a poor rating, including Tesla's Autopilot and so-called full self-driving systems. Full self-driving is not actually fully self-driving, but unlike Autopilot and almost all other such systems, it is designed to work on city and suburban streets. The organization also rated hands-free highway driving systems from Ford and Nissan as poor. General Motors' hands-free system, Super Cruise, was rated as marginal. Only Lexus's teammate with Advanced Drive System received a rating of acceptable. Even that rating, though, is still one step below the Insurance Institute's highest possible rating of good. Some drivers may feel that partial automation makes long drives easier, but there is little evidence it makes driving safer. Insurance Institute President David Harkey said in a statement, "As many high-profile crashes have illustrated, it can introduce new risks when systems lack appropriate safeguards." The federal government's National Highway Traffic Safety Administration doesn't currently regulate these sorts of systems. We felt like this is an appropriate time for us to step into the space, fill this regulatory gap we're talking about, help drive automakers to produce safer implementations within their vehicles. and also help consumers understand what these systems actually are and what the differences are between some of these systems, Harkey said. Many of the systems received demerits for not doing enough to make sure drivers stayed attentive and undistracted as the car steered, braked, and accelerated on its own. The Insurance Institute said none of the 14 systems it tested do a good job monitoring driver attention. In vehicles where an interior camera monitors driver attention, the Institute tested what happened if that camera is deliberately blocked or if the driver turns their gaze away from the road for too long. Some systems also, or only, monitor whether the driver is holding the steering wheel, so testers looked at what happened if a driver let go of the steering wheel for too long. With systems such as GM's Super Cruise and Nissan ProPilot Assist that allow drivers to remove their hands from the steering for long periods. Testers also held a block resembling a cell phone. This tested whether the system could detect the driver's hands were not ready to grab the steering wheel in an emergency. Tesla has been the leader in full self-driving and electric vehicles, and now has a chance to grow their market share even more, thanks to EV startups faltering and legacy automakers focusing on hybrids. Tesla has had a rough 2024 with its shares down 34% year-to-date. But the electric vehicle space in general is having a difficult time, and relatively speaking, Elon Musk's car maker is sitting pretty, believes one industry observer. CFRA automotive analyst Garrett Nelson, speaking to Fox Business this week, noted that Tesla rival Fisker recently hired restructuring advisors amid talk of a possible bankruptcy. And major automakers, he added, are turning their focus more to hybrids, which give owners greater fuel efficiency without the range anxiety, as EV sales growth slows down. That really opens up a lane for Tesla to grow their market share even more in the coming years, Nelson said. While Musk's car maker faces challenges in China, where EV competition is intense, Nelson said, "We kind of view Tesla as the best house on a bad block in the Western market." Another sign of that bad block was Tesla rival Rivian, amid doubts about its long-term prospects, recently announcing it would delay construction of a factory in Georgia and save money by instead building its upcoming new models at its existing plant in Illinois. There's a lot of distress taking place in the EV industry, Nelson said. Of course, Tesla had its own existential struggles as an EV startup not so long ago. But Tesla today, Nelson said, is a lot different than the company of 3 or 4 years ago. The company has an investment-grade balance sheet. They're sitting on more than $29 billion of cash, hardly any debt. One thing that's changed since then is Musk buying Twitter, now X, and going on to voice or amplify sometimes controversial positions on the platform. On Thursday, Ross Gerber, CEO of Gerber Kawasaki Wealth and Investment Management, voiced frustration with Musk's leadership and public behavior. The original story that I think most investors bought into with Tesla didn't really include Elon and Twitter. For a long time, we all hoped that it really wouldn't affect Tesla and the demand for its products, Gerber said. We all know that that has now happened. The demand for Tesla products is obviously lower. They've had to discount and do many things that hurt margins and returns, and ultimately profits for Tesla. But what do you think? Please hit the like button and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Please share this video on social media. And before we end, a word from the sponsor of this video. Today's sponsor is ProWorldNet.com. ProWorldNet.com is a job website specifically dedicated to licensed professions, doctors, including any type of specialty nurses, and that includes all grades of nurses, lawyers, regardless of area of legal focus, teachers and professors, from kindergarten through graduate school, as well as any kind of job that requires a government license or certification. And ProWorldNet.com also includes short-term gig-type jobs as well. So be sure to check out ProWorldNet.com if you are looking for a job or an employee. Thank you for watching.